All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to talk about something that might sound, well, a little wrong. We're talking about stealing. But hold on, not the kind that lands you in jail. I'm talking about the kind of stealing that pretty much every great artist you can think of has mastered. Yeah, this is all about how to steal like an artist.
I mean, check this out. Pablo Picasso, one of the most original artists ever, he just came right out and said it. Art is theft. Wow. I mean, that one little sentence just flips everything we're told about originality on its head, right? It kind of makes you think. Maybe this whole pressure we feel to create something totally new out of thin air, maybe it's all just a myth.
So, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If a genius like Picasso says art is theft, what does that actually mean? How do you do it? And let's be clear, this isn't about ripping people off or plagiarizing. No way! It's a completely different mindset. It's a creative process that can totally unlock your potential. And that's exactly what we're going to get into.
So here's the game plan. We're going to walk through 5 key ideas. First, the difference between good stealing and bad stealing. Then, why nothing is really original. After that, how to pick your influences. Fourth, and this one's huge, why you've got to start before you're ready. And finally, how to copy your heroes the right way. Let's do it.
All right, first things first. When we say theft, let's be really clear. We are not talking about just taking someone's work and slapping your name on it. That's lazy, and it's wrong. No, this is something way deeper. It's a technique, a way of thinking that all the greats seem to get.
And the poet, T.S. Eliot, he absolutely nailed the difference. He said, immature poets imitate, mature poets steal. Think about that. Imitating, that's just making a cheap copy. But stealing, that's when you take an idea, you really study it, you absorb it, and then you transform it into something that's totally yours. It's the difference between a bad cover band and a groundbreaking new artist.
And this is the perfect way to see it. Bad stealing is just skimming the surface. It's plagiarism, pure and simple. But good stealing? That's a whole other ballgame. That's about honoring the stuff you love. You study it, you get what makes it tick, and then you take that inspiration, you mix it with your own ideas, and you create something new. It's transformed, but you can still feel the spirit of the original in there.
Okay, so this next idea is maybe the most important one of all. You've got to let go of this heavy, heavy burden of trying to be 100% original. Seriously, it's a trap. It'll paralyze you. Because the truth is, nothing is truly original.
And honestly, once you get this, it's so freeing. Every new idea, and I mean every new idea, is just a mashup. It's a remix of stuff that already exists. Nothing is born in a vacuum. Once you really accept that, you can stop staring at a blank page trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and you can start looking around for cool ingredients to mix together.
And I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. It makes it so personal, right? Just think about it. You are literally a genetic mashup of your parents, your grandparents, and so on. Well, your work is the exact same thing. It's a mashup of all your influences. Your ideas have ancestors. So the question to ask isn't, is this original? It's, where did this come from? What's its family tree?
And don't think for a second this is just some old-school academic theory. Look at Jay-Z. He talks about finding his spiritual fathers in the game. He didn't just invent his style out of nowhere. He soaked up everything from the legends who came before him, he studied them, and then he put his own spin on it, adding his voice to the legacy. So this all leads to a really logical next step, right? If you are a mashup of what you let in, well, then you have to be super careful about what you let in. It's just like your diet. You are what you eat. Creatively, you are what you consume.
And I think this is a fantastic distinction. An artist is a collector, not a hoarder. What's the difference? A hoarder just piles up junk. A collector, on the other hand, is a curator. You carefully pick and choose only the best stuff, only the things that really move you. Your job is to be a detective for good ideas. The better your collection, the better your work is going to be.
I mean, look at the master of this, David Bowie. He was the ultimate creative collector. He wasn't just passively watching stuff. He was actively studying it. Art, fashion, music, everything, with one goal in mind. Find the coolest parts that he could steal, remix, and weave into his own art. It's a very deliberate, active hunt.
All right, let's talk about something real. This next one is for every single person out there who's ever felt like a fake or who's just too intimidated to even start. We're told this lie that you need to know who you are and have this grand plan before you begin. That is absolutely not true. You don't.
You figure out who you are by doing the work.
It's that simple. Creativity isn't something you can just sit and think about. You have to act your way into it. The process of making stuff is what shows you who you are. So you just have to start. Take the leap.
And you know that little voice in your head that says, I'm a fraud, I don't belong here? Yeah, that's totally normal. It even has a name, imposter syndrome. And here's the secret. Everybody feels it. The pros, the beginners, everyone. The successful people aren't the ones who never feel like an imposter. They're just the ones who feel it and get to work anyway.
Okay, so you're fired up, you're ready to go, but what's the first step? What do you actually do? This brings us to our last big idea, and it's probably the most hands-on piece of advice. You start by copying.
And again, let's hammer this home. This is not plagiarism. It's not about passing it off as your own. This is about practice. It's like a musician learning to play a classic song note for note. You're not doing it to release it as your own single, you're doing it to understand how the master put it together. You're basically reverse engineering their genius.
I mean, nobody is just born with their own unique style. It doesn't work that way. Think about the Beatles. Before they wrote their own stuff, they were a cover band, playing songs by their heroes. They learned how to write amazing songs by literally taking apart and playing other amazing songs. It was through that process of copying that they eventually found that sound that changed the world.
So what can you start doing today, like right now? Here's a little toolkit. 1. Always have a notebook or something to capture ideas. Always. 2. Collect everything you love. Don't judge it, just grab it. Quotes, pictures, song lyrics, whatever. And 3. Keep what's called a morgue file. It's a place where you keep all these bits and pieces of inspiration. You never know when you'll need them.
So in the end, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Creativity is not some magical lightning strike that only hits a few lucky geniuses. It's not about making something out of nothing. It's a process. It's about being a great collector and then becoming a great chef, taking all those amazing ingredients and remixing them into something new, something that's uniquely you.
So consider this your official permission slip. You can stop waiting for that perfect, original idea to just pop into your head. Start looking around. Start collecting. You have permission to steal like an artist. The only question is, what are you going to make?